Have you ever wondered why some people achieve extraordinary success while others with equal talent remain stuck in mediocrity? The answer isn't what most people think. It's not about intelligence, connections, or even luck. There's a hidden secret that successful people rarely talk about openly. And today, I'm going to reveal it through a story that will change how you think about achievement forever. Deep in the mountains of Nepal, there lived a young man named Kiran, who dreamed of becoming something greater than his circumstances. His village was small, isolated, and most people there accepted their simple lives without question. But Kiran was different. He watched successful people from the distant city when they occasionally passed through, and he noticed something peculiar. They all seemed to possess an invisible force that ordinary people lacked. Kiran's family ran a small tea shop that barely earned enough to survive. Every morning, his father would complain about their poor fortune and blame their struggles on bad luck or unfair circumstances. His mother would sigh and say that success was only for people born into wealthy families. But Kiran refused to accept this narrative. One day, a successful businessman named Raj stopped at their tea shop during his journey through the mountains. Unlike other wealthy visitors who seemed rushed and impatient, Raj sat quietly, observing everything around him with calm attention. Kiran noticed something unusual about this man's behavior. While everyone else in the village moved through their day reacting to whatever happened, Raj seemed to move with intentional purpose. Curious, Kiran approached him. "Sir, may I ask you something? What makes successful people different from everyone else?" Raj looked at the young man thoughtfully and smiled. Most people think success comes from talent or opportunity, but that's not the real secret. The real secret is something most successful people never talk about because it sounds too simple. Kiran leaned in eagerly. "What is it?" Raj paused, then said, "The secret is that successful people have learned to make progress automatic. They don't rely on feeling motivated or inspired. They've built systems that work even when they don't feel like working." But Kiran didn't fully understand. How do you make progress automatic? Raj pointed to the mountain peak visible through the window. "See that mountain? If you decided to climb it, how would you do it?" Kiran thought for a moment. "I would start climbing when I felt strong and motivated, and climb as much as possible each day." Raj shook his head gently. "That's exactly what most people do, and that's why they fail. They rely on bursts of energy and motivation, but motivation is like the weather. It comes and goes. Successful people don't wait for motivation. They create structure that makes the right actions happen, regardless of how they feel." He continued, "If I wanted to climb that mountain, I wouldn't wait for a day when I felt inspired. I would decide that every morning at exactly 6 o'clock, I would climb for 1 hour, no matter what. Rain or shine, tired or energetic, excited or bored. The commitment would be to the system, not to my feelings." Kiran began to understand, but he wanted to know more. So successful people just force themselves to do things they don't want to do. "Not exactly," Raj replied. "Here's what most people miss. At first, yes, you might need to push through resistance. But something magical happens when you stick to a system long enough. The actions become part of who you are. You stop needing to decide whether to do them or not. They just happen naturally, like breathing." This conversation planted a seed in Kiran's mind that would grow into something powerful. But little did he know that testing this secret would require him to face challenges he never imagined. That evening, Kiran couldn't stop thinking about what Raj had told him. He lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if this secret could actually work for someone like him. The next morning, he decided to test it with something small. Instead of waiting until he felt like studying, he would read for exactly 30 minutes every day at sunrise, before his family woke up. The first week was brutal. His body protested against waking early. His mind felt foggy, and every part of him wanted to stay in bed. But he remembered Raj's words about not depending on feelings. So he got up anyway, lit a small candle, and read by its flickering light. Some mornings he could barely focus, but he stayed there for the full 30 minutes regardless. By the second week, something strange began happening. Waking early started feeling less like a battle and more like a quiet ritual. His mind became sharper during those peaceful morning hours when the world was still asleep. The resistance began to fade, replaced by something he hadn't expected, a sense of pride in keeping his commitment to himself. Word spread through the village that Kiran was behaving oddly, waking before dawn to read books. Some neighbors whispered that he was wasting his time with foolish dreams. His own father shook his head and said, "Son, you're born poor. You'll die poor. Stop filling your head with impossible ideas." But Kiran had tasted something powerful. For the first time in his life, he felt in control of his destiny rather than being controlled by circumstances. He decided to expand his experiment. He added physical exercise to his morning routine, then dedicated evening hours to learning new skills that might help him build a business. Months passed. While his family and neighbors continued their same daily patterns, complaining about their situation, but taking no action to change it, Kiran was quietly transforming. His body grew stronger, his knowledge expanded, and most importantly, his confidence in his ability to create change grew stronger each day. That evening, after another productive day following his system, Kiran sat under the same tree where he had first met Raj. He realized that the businessman had given him something more valuable than money or connections. He had shown him that success wasn't about waiting for the right moment or feeling inspired. It was about creating automatic progress through simple, consistent actions repeated day after day. The secret wasn't motivation, it was discipline disguised as love for your future self. And now you know it too.